What's going on, guys? Fairly decent investor here. As you can see, I'm at my place at home, so not the usual setup that I would normally have. But for today's video, I'm going to be doing a overview of the stock TOST, also known as by its ticker symbol TOST. I'm going to give you guys kind of like an introduction overview of the stock. I'm going to move into some of the financials and the looking at the charts and the technical analysis there. Then I'm going to kind of just give some more takeaways and wrap it up with what I think about it and kind of just my conclusions, whether or not I think the stock's interesting, worth buying, at what point I would buy at. So what is TOST? TOST is a consumer payment application for restaurants, most specifically as that's their biggest customer and target market. They are a software and they offer analytics and other reporting applications for their point of sale. So for those of you who have no idea what the hell I'm talking about, when you go pay with your credit card somewhere, specifically restaurants for Toast, that the iPads or, a little gadget thing that, you might slide your card into or something like that. That's what Toast is. They offer that software for restaurants. They are headquartered in Boston, Massachusetts, and founded right around 2012, at the start of 2012, by three people: Jonathan Grimm, or Aman Narang, and Stephen Fredette. No idea if I'm pronouncing those names right, but I'm just going to roll with it. So, Jonathan Grimm, all three actually graduated from MIT, two with a computer science degree and one with a chemistry degree. They all worked together at a company called Endica, which was another software company, and they grew sales from about $0 to $10 million within 2 years. The company then sold to Oracle for right around $1 billion, a little more, in 2011, and then shortly after was when Toast was launched. So their current CEO, Chris Comprato, went to Union College, did not go to MIT, but also worked with these three guys at Endica. He has a very impressive background. I'm not going to go into all of it. You could just Google his name and hopefully find his LinkedIn profile. You can read his about me. I won't go into all detail about all three of them. Sorry, all four of these guys, as you can just look them up on LinkedIn and figure some stuff out about them. But with that being said, they seem to have a great chemistry. They have an impressive background of growing a software company together. And since they started Toast, Toast has been fairly successful. They had one of the biggest IPOs when they launched over a year ago. And for the sector that they're in, the packaged software sector, some of their main competitors are companies like Square. That's probably their biggest one. But other ones you may have heard of, may have not heard of: Clover. I think that's a pretty big one as well. Lightspeed, NCR Silver, and Touch Bistro. So with that being said, how does Toast kind of fare in their, along with these competitors? So Toast has roughly about, I want to say, 10% share of the point of sale industry, with over 40% of their customers are being in the restaurant business. So I'm not exactly sure what percent the others have. I believe Square was around 40%. But as you see, when you go around, you buy something at a restaurant or wherever you are, just take a look what they're using. Like I said, so a lot of the times it's Square. I think the other most popular one that I see is Clover and Toast as well. But they basically generate revenue by offering the system and a subscription fee, as well as their actual software and their products. So kind of my takeaway from all of this is the founders and CEO seem to have a very impressive background. They seem to be well connected and well informed on the industry. Though that's not to say that you have experience being successful in industry, that you will be successful again. That is not the case whatsoever. But, when you do have a background like that, it certainly can lead to more beneficial outcomes as well. So I think all this together there are some positive signs here for Toast with their background and their industry, as the industry as well also seems to be growing. What's up, guys? I'm back here. Had some recording and uploading issues that I realized after I cut the first two clips, so not in the same outfit I was in before. Filming this the next day now. Anyways, let's get into the charts, kind of more of the technical analysis of Toast for 2022, kind of just the year in general. The high was about $4.26. The low was $11.91, representing a 74% drop in the stock overall. When you look at the chart, the 1 year does not look that interesting at all, to be honest with you guys. Pretty much just dropped from the high to the low from January to mid-May, and then from mid-May to August, it climbed back up to around $22.50, and it's kind of just been trending between that $22.50 and $16 since then. At the time of looking at this, it was $17.62 was the live price of TOST, which represents a 55% decrease still from its high, which is still a really significant discount from the high. The RSI is about 43.21, and the MACD is about even. Nothing too interesting about that. RSI is starting to get a little low, but still nothing really that interesting, especially with the MACD being even. Nothing to suggest buying anytime soon. The 3-month chart is trending at between $16.06 and that $23, kind of like I said before. I kind of see it staying that way for a bit longer. If it drops below the $16.06 support level, I think it's possible we could see it fall pretty hard all the way down to around $12.15, just because there's not really much support underneath that $16 level. And if it rises above 23, I think it could see around $25. But based off these charts, I don't think I'd be too interested in buying it, buying the stock, unless it dropped to around like I said, about that $16 or even went below it. At that point, I might consider buying some. When you compare this TOST stock to some of their competitors, such as Square, their charts are nearly identical for the last 3 months. In the last 6 months, TOST has actually traded higher in comparison. So, again, not really a green flag or anything there. Moving into the financial analysis of kind of actually looking at some of their numbers, not just the technical stuff on TOST. They don't make any money, so I'm not really looking at them as a value stock, more looking at them as a growth stock. So over the last year, they had a sales growth of 107%, cash and short-term investment growth of about 117%, total assets increased 123%, total debt decreased 90%, free cash flow increased 100%, price to sales was about 10.3. So when we kind of analyze this, the sales 107% growth over the year, that's pretty impressive. That is definitely a green flag there. Cash and short-term investments also up over 100%, also another green flag there. Total assets, same thing, over 100%, definitely a green flag. The only thing that is a little weird to me is that their total debt decreased by about 90%. Not exactly sure if that means that they're paying off their debt or if they're just not taking on any more debt. Not sure if this is a smart play or not a smart play, to be honest with you. For a growing company, it's definitely a little odd to see that they're decreasing their total debt, not taking on more debt, trying to build a company by taking on debt. But obviously, there's different ways to finance a growing company, so you never know. But that part was definitely a little interesting to me, that they decreased total debt by over 90%. Free cash, over 100% growth as well. That could be related maybe to the fact that they're decreasing their debt, is that they're increasing their free cash flow. The way the economy is right now, could be a smart play. Price to sales 10.3, not terrible, to be honest, for a growing company. Their last quarter, their price to sales was 3.5, which is pretty damn good. You kind of want below 3, especially for kind of this packaging software company. Higher numbers are not that uncommon to see. Square currently is 1.9. Might make me think Square might be a little more appealing to buy at the time. But anyways, with that kind of being said, everything seems pretty decent here. Nothing really that jumps out that much. Moving into some analyst and earnings predictions. Analysts in December have given 2 buys and 1 sell on TOST with an average price target of $23.33, which is right around that upper side of where it's been trending right now at around $23. Upcoming earnings on December 31st for the 2022 year will be released. Analysts expect sales to grow about 59% and EPS to be about negative 0.16. Like we said, sales grew about 107% before, 59%, definitely a little lower. Obviously, 107% isn't sustainable in the long run. So overall the trend seems to be pretty positive. But I definitely think that price target might be kind of a little bit more on the upper side in at least the short term look. Finally, we're going to wrap this up with some key takeaways from TOST, what I kind of learned. Um, Definitely think this is a really interesting stock. The founders and CEO have a great background. That's obviously something really big to look at, especially for growing companies and companies that are kind of a little bit newer to the market. Is, you know, they always say you want to invest in the people um, that own the company rather than the company itself for a lot of things. But industry is definitely changing, and if Toast can kind of control, especially that niche market of the restaurants and serving them for their packaged software, they should prove pretty successful over the long run, I would believe. So with that being said, if you're a long-term investor, 3 to 5 years, kind of your outlook, I would, I think Toast is a pretty safe buy in general. If you're more short term, I probably wouldn't invest until around that $16 range or even lower to kind of get some more value out of your investment. The analyst had a price target around $23. Like I said, it's probably more on the upper end of where it's been trending. But if you do invest at that $16 mark and it climbs back up to $23, you could sell out there and you could still turn a pretty profit. So I don't think I would invest much higher than that with hopes of it hitting $23. But definitely going to stay updated on the stock. Definitely a really interesting stock. So thank you guys for listening, and let me know if you have any comments or ideas on how to improve this channel. I don't really have any pictures or anything here right yet, but might add some of those in. But anyways, any other suggestions, feel free to leave them below. First video, finally done. Thanks for listening.